Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about something that might just completely change how you look at student behavior in your classroom. It's a simple little formula, but trust me, it's a game changer. Ready to dive in?
All right, let me just kick things off with a big question, especially for all you teachers and educators listening. Think about the last time a student was acting out. Did you ever just pause and wonder, is this kid really misbehaving? Or are they trying to tell me something? Something they just can't find the words for?
Okay, so to make this real, let's talk about a situation that probably sounds, well, a little too familiar to anyone who's ever been in a classroom.
So picture it. You've just given out a homework assignment. And then, out of nowhere, a child just starts crying. What's our first instinct? Come on, be honest. It's usually to just stop it, right? We say something like, hey, stop the drama. It feels like they're just trying to disrupt the class, maybe even being defiant.
But what if I told you something kinda radical? What if that child isn't actually wrong? What if the crying isn't drama at all, but a message? That right there, that's the big mindset shift we're talking about today.
And to help us make that shift, there's this amazing little tool that experts use all the time. Think of it like a secret formula, a decoder ring for student behavior. It's called the ABC model.
And yeah, it really is as easy as A, B, C. So A stands for antecedent. That's just a fancy word for what happened right before the behavior. Then you've got B for the behavior itself. What did the student actually do? And finally, C is for consequence. What happened right after? See? Just a simple chain of events.
Okay, so that's the theory. Kind of simple, right? But let's see how this thing actually works in the real world. Let's walk through an example together.
All right, let's break down a classic one. A, the antecedent. The teacher gives the class a really tough math problem. B, the behavior. A student takes one look at it and just rips the paper in half. And C, the consequence. The teacher, probably frustrated, just says, fine, just leave it. Now, when you lay it out like that, you start to see something, don't you? A pattern.
So let's just pause here for a second. Put yourself in that kid's shoes. In that little sequence, A, B, C, what did their brain just learn? What connection did it just make?
The lesson is pretty clear, isn't it? Hey, if I tear the paper, I don't have to do the work. The consequence, even though the teacher didn't mean it this way, actually rewarded the behavior. The child just learned a super effective strategy for escaping something hard. And that is exactly why we need to understand this ABC stuff.
So this ABC model, it's our magnifying glass. It helps us look right past the behavior and ask the biggest question of all, why? Because here's the thing, every single behavior is doing a job for that child. It's meeting some kind of need. And usually, those needs fall into one of 5 main buckets.
So what are they? Well, sometimes it's for attention. Pretty straightforward. Look at me. Sometimes, like in our math problem example, it's escape. Get me out of here. It could be a skill deficit, which just means I literally don't know how to do this. Or it could be sensory. My body needs to move or I need some comfort. And finally, it could be for a tangible. I want that thing. The behavior you see, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real reason is one of these things hiding underneath. And once you see that, man, it changes everything. This is where empathy becomes your superpower. You start to realize, oh, they're not trying to be disobedient. They're just totally overwhelmed. Or they're not lazy. They're just really, really confused. Once you start looking at behavior through this new lens, your whole approach just flips. Your goal isn't about controlling the situation anymore. It's about understanding the kid who's right in the middle of it. I mean, look at the difference. The old way is all about reacting, right? Yelling, putting labels on kids, he's the naughty one, and just trying to control everything. But this new way, it's about being proactive. It's about connecting, figuring out the real need, and then guiding them to a better way to get that need met. Okay, if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. I really want you to let this sink in. A child is not giving you a hard time. A child is having a hard time. Just think about that. That one little change in how you see it, it changes everything.
All right, so this all sounds good, but how do you actually do it? Like today, in your classroom? Well, it's actually way simpler than you might think.
Okay, so the next time a student is acting out, here's your mission. Before you do anything, just pause. Take a breath, don't just react. Instead, ask yourself these 3 quick questions. 1, what happened right before this? That's your A. 2, what is this kid really trying to tell me with this behavior? That's the why. And 3, what happened right after? That's your C, and that's probably your biggest clue about what's keeping this whole cycle going.
Because at the end of the day, our goal isn't just to have a classroom full of quiet, compliant kids, right? It's to have a room full of kids who feel understood, who feel supported, and who feel connected. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Stop trying to control behavior and start trying to understand it.